Wasabi gangsters, it's me, Chance Dillon. So let's do a quick live reading update, then we'll get to my writing stuff later in the video. I am really grateful you guys came. Anyways, I know, you guys are like, Chance, you should be done with Bonehunters by now. Now, what's happened lately is I've just been incredibly busy. I am still working through Bonehunters. I read it every day, slowly but surely. I believe I have 300 pages left. I'm on chapter 19, which, you know, every Malazan book has 24 chapters. The story so far, loving it. I love the reference to the big battle that happens earlier in this book. Things are starting to really click in general. They click in earlier books for me. I think Memories of Ice, things really came together, but Bonehunters has given me generally a better idea of the goings-ons of the entire universe of Malazan, and we're starting to get some, the convergence of people from previous books coming into this one. And it is very exciting. I don't want to give anything away for people who are early, because this is book 6. And wow, I mean, the themes in this one, obviously you have compassion going into it. We get some of our favorite characters doing some awesome things. I don't really know what else to say about this that wouldn't give anything away, so I'm going to try to move on. But yes, Malazan Book of the Fallen, slowly moving my way through this. Next up, we have To Ride Hell's Chasm. I have no choice. My goal was, I know we're at the end of January here already, my goal was to read To Ride Hell's Chasm, The Prophet of Edan, and I mean, I just don't think I can pull that off in the amount of time that I have. But I have to finish Eluthienn. I'm slowly moving through that as well. But To Ride Hell's Chasm will be the next big fantasy read that I have. Now, I have read one chapter from Berserk. We are done with volume 17. I'm going to do something. Usually when I talk Berserk, I talk spoilers. Today, there's really not much to talk about, with the exception of the Inquisitors being brought in, which is an interesting cast of characters. I don't want to give too much away about them either. We have Guts on his journey now, a new journey, a kind of misdirection from where he was headed before, because some things happened, and now he needs to go find somebody. Wow. I did my best not to spoil anything there. So I went to MarsCon this past weekend. I was really, actually, it was kind of awesome. I met Dennis Myers, who's also another talking story acolyte, I guess is that's an inappropriate way to say it. I don't know. And I was fortunate to meet him and pick up his first book in the Rise of the Automated Empire. His covers are done by a gentleman named J. Caleb Art, I believe, and they are beautiful covers. John actually just read this one over at Talking Story. This is one that I'm going to submit to the Red Company when the time comes down the line for us to get into another series. Dennis was a fantastic individual to speak with, offered a lot of wisdom. He and I both served in the Navy, so it was really cool to just, talk, just have a conversation with him. And I also had the luxury of meeting Christopher Ruocchio. Picked up a DAW published paperback. I don't know if there's another published version of that. From Christopher Ruocchio, which he signed from Disquiet Gods, is in the next book in the Sun Eater series that I have to read. I am so grateful that I picked this up. And just hanging out with people there and talking. I mean, I mostly spoke with Dennis. And then at the end, of course, you meet some more people on the last day and have some conversations. And it was it was a really interesting weekend for me. It was exciting. It was cool to meet Christopher, simply because, also we share an editor. I use Dave Butler, who's a friend of his, who is an editor at Bain. And, it was just really cool to talk to him, because he's one of my favorites, and the Sun Eater is one of my favorite series. And I don't know, just interesting. He's like such a cool guy, such an easy person to talk to, and that's that. And then also Bain did a roadshow in Heart of the Mountain, which I know comes out in February, and this is the infamous to George R. R. Martin. See, it's not that hard dedication in here. So Saga the Forgotten Warrior, when I made my priority list, this is on a list of priority of a series that I would like to get to. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get to it this year. I'm hoping I can. This is the last book in the series. It's coming out in February. So when you're watching this, it's not out yet. And then I also picked up Glenn Cook's, by Joseph Reed's books, recommendation. I picked up Glenn Cook's The Starfishers trilogy. So there's a lot of sci-fi in this particular week of videos. And this one is, it's a trilogy of books. I believe the first one's 99 pages. And so Glenn Cook's books are one, especially the Dread Empire books that I have, There are books that I can easily work through if I just fit the time in, and I just haven't done that yet. There's a novella I have, The Rest to the Gods by Joshua Walker in the Exiled Water and Gold trilogy, which I believe I talked about last week. This is one that I believe I can fit in as well. So I'm going to try my best on top of getting to Ride Hell's Chasms done and finishing Eluthienn, which I will show here as well for the Red Company, a Red Company read with me, Chris from Beater Book Beast, Alex at Iskandaria, and Jake from Nerd Level Rising. We are going to read this. We're going to talk about it. I'm in the middle of it, and I'm enjoying my ride so far with it. And yeah, so that is my reading updates for you guys. For those of you who are here from just my reading updates, please leave in the comments down below what you're reading right now. If there's something I'm reading that you want to talk to me about, go ahead, shoot. I'm all ears. I'd love to have the open conversation. I'd love to, chat about books and story. So I think it'd be really fun to do that. And also, leave a like, subscribe, just chat. And so I'm going to move on to my writing updates. For those of you who are here for my reading updates, thank you so much for coming. I'm grateful that you did, grateful that you watched. Wow, 5 minutes of my reading updates. And now we're going to move to my writing. So writing stuff, guys. I'm currently on chapter 33 of 48 in my edits. Last week, I believe I was at 15-ish. So the goal is by the 28th to have it done and sent off to my copy editor, which was recommended to me by Dave. And I'm reaching out to commission some more art right now. We'll see kind of where that goes for some marketing stuff. And I believe that the word count is down to about 195 from 202,000 when I started this draft. I don't know if I'm going to get down to the goal of 180. I just don't. There's a chance that I do. If it's such a hard thing to, because there are some notes that I see and I'm like, all right, I'm going to hold on to this. And I'm pretty firm in my belief that I'm going to keep it. And hopefully it makes the book better. At least I don't think it makes the book worse. And it's just something that, there are some, like there is a sentence here and there that I do grow attached to. So I'm human. I'm human, so yeah, that's where I'm at with the writing update. I will be diving back into book 2 as this goes off to the copy editor, which I am so stoked to do. I thought about it on the train the other day. There's some scenes in there that get me highly emotional. Some things that happen that, I really wish we could talk about it in the comments in terms of like characters that you guys like, but you don't know them yet. There is a short story available on my Patreon for you guys to check out if you would like. I always have that linked in the description below. It is a pre-Reckoning short story, so it takes place about 2 years before the events of the main novel. The main novel will be coming out in July. The blurb will be down there in the description as well. You guys can check it out if it sounds interesting to you. Mercy, Tears of the Fallen cover is up as well over on that free Patreon. Things are over there for, novellas. I believe I will be doing the serialized novella starting sometime in February. I think after I get through book 2 at least one time, I'll start focusing on that. I have a few chapters already ready to release in terms of written by me, ready to go out in terms of copy editing and proofreading them. Again, with serialization, I might run it through somebody. I'm going to see. I have a proofreader in general for the main book or the main book series as well that I might use for the serialization chapters. And I'm really looking forward to seeing where that goes. And other kind of notes. Abel Montero released his cover. Go check him out. His channel will be linked in my description below. I usually have trouble linking his channel for some reason. I don't know why. Abel, if you're seeing this, I don't know why, but I do have a hard time linking your channel. Dennis, I will also hopefully put your channel in this because I know that you've been posting videos, I believe. At the very least, I know that you do the Town Square with John. So, and again, I didn't get a chance to say goodbye, Dennis. So if you happen to be watching this and you're 10 minutes into this video, I am incredibly grateful for the conversations that we had, and the wisdom that you bestowed onto me as I get into my publishing journey. And everybody who's here for the ride, I thank you again. I'm very grateful for your time. I know this is a short one. You guys can check out a written writing update if you'd like specifically the exact word count of what book 1 is at right now. And I will be, as I go back into book 2, updating that word count every week for where book 2 is, and perhaps putting a line, which I am taking that idea from Christopher Ruocchio's Patreon, where I will be putting a line from book 2 into the writing updates every week. I might do that this week with book 1. Not 100% sure. You'll see, because this video goes up the same time my writing update goes up, and you can check it out. Yeah. I am definitely shilling for myself way too much right now. Anyways, have a good weekend, guys. I will see you next Friday. Thank you again. Very grateful for you coming here and spending your time with me. All right. See you next week.